Hey everyone, this is Justin with MyManJustin's Collectible Emporium. I'm your man for Pokemon cards. Now today we're going to go into the fourth binder on my channel. I just purchased this binder recently and there's many more to come. Like I've said in the past, I've been purchasing collections to resell them individually for collectors and investors for the past 10 years. The past 4 years I've been doing it, I would say, part-time consistently. I did it while I went through community college, and then I also did it while I was completing my undergrad degree at UC Berkeley. And I also was able to do it when I went to Spain with the United States State Department to study computer science at the Autonomous University of Barcelona. And that's something great about my business and just selling Pokemon cards in general, is that you can take it with you. There's not a lot of materials. All you really need is your Pokemon cards, a cell phone or a smartphone, and shipping materials, and you have eBay, which is a worldwide platform.
All right, we are in it. This is binder number 4 on my channel. We're gonna talk about it. I just wanted to let you all know I have recently created a Patreon where I will add some additional content, a little more in-depth and informative for people that are looking for some consulting in their own Pokemon endeavors, buying, choosing cards to grade, how to list and sell certain cards, and just some tactics and things that I've learned over my 10 years. So we'll get into this. Like I said, Patreon is at MyManJustin's Collectible Emporium, and I'll be adding content to that very soon this weekend. So just to start off, we have this Mew. I think this is a great artwork for this Mew. It's one of the more sought after, lower end, more affordable cards for Mew collectors, and there is a lot of Mew collectors out there. It's a card that's going to go really quick, and you can get anywhere from $10 to $20 for it based on the condition. And I'll make another video on my Patreon about this, about choosing cards to get PSA graded, because there's a lot of different things to consider when you're considering getting a card graded, the cost, whether it'll sell, if it's an appropriate card to get graded. So I'll talk more about that. This is a Secret Rare Mewtwo from Breakthrough, and the XY era I think did a great job of these full art cards, especially the Secret Rare cards. They always showcase some nice art with additional Pokemon in the artwork, and there are several sets that have some really nice Secret Rare cards. This is a card that's going to be worth around that $10 to $15 range. And this is a black and white era. This card from Dragons Exalted. It's a really nice card, and one of the first full art Rayquazas, Rayquaza being another popular Pokemon for collectors. This card will go from anywhere from $10 up to $25 depending on condition ungraded. So, and it's really important to be able to know prices, and this just comes with experience and dealing with cards a lot, because when you're negotiating deals to buy cards, you need to be able to see a binder full of cards and be able to properly evaluate them. For example, this card right here, this card you're going to get anywhere from $2 to $4 tops for, even though it's a full art card, but you just got to be able to know that. Whereas something like this, this Primal Groudon, this is going to be around that $20 range. Here's another Secret Rare card, Secret Rare Gyarados. Again, it's got that Manaphy in the artwork. It's got the gold border. It's a shiny Rayquaza, got a gray ninja there, and another nice card. It's going to be around that $12 to $15 range. This Mewtwo here, these sell very quickly, and it's good to know cards like this, because if cards sell quickly, you can actually pay, like if you normally pay 50% of what a card's worth when you're buying in bulk, these kind of cards you can actually pay a little more, because you're going to get a return on your money really quick. And this is a card that'll sell from $10 to $13 depending on condition, maybe even lower if it's in not that good condition. I'm speaking from light play to mint. And here's another Secret Rare card, Roaring Skies. Shaman is a popular Pokemon. It had a EX card in Roaring Skies that was really popular. I believe the World Championships one year, that card was in the deck, so it was very valuable until they did reprint the set, so it kind of reduced the value of all the cards, including that one. But again, it's got the really nice artwork, a lot of Pokemon involved, gold border. It looks really nice, and there's a lot of these. So I've noticed these XY sets are still really strong sellers, even though they're not that old. People are still buying them. This card right here is going to be anywhere from $12 to $18 to make a Charizard, not full art. And of course, Charizards are cards that'll sell very quickly. Tons of Charizard collectors. This Mega Blastoise from Evolutions. The Evolutions cards sell actually very quickly. It's actually a pretty cool set. It showcased these full art Mega Blastoise and Venusaur. Actually, I don't know if the Venusaur is in Evolutions, but I think it is. Yeah, and the Charizard is as well, of course. And I love the Charizard artwork. The Blastoise, it's gone down in price a little bit, actually, I think, over time. It's only worth around $6 to $10 now. And I'll note this card over time. I believe it was when it was in play, because with the way the game works is that cards are in play during certain times, like legally for tournaments, and then they go out of play. When this card was in play, it was like a $11 to $15 card a couple years ago, I believe, maybe even a little more. And now it's still like a $4 to $5 card. This Mega Mewtwo full art from Breakthrough is another card that sells just like the other Mega Mewtwo. It sells really quickly, it's very sought after, and it's going to be another $12 to $15 card. And here we have some older EX cards here too. These are getting more and more known. There was a point in time where people just didn't realize these cards were out. They weren't appreciated as much. And once they started getting more known, people started realizing these old EXs are actually pretty cool cards. The hollow borders, the artwork on them is usually pretty nice. And this card right here, the condition isn't especially good, but it's still going to be worth around $10. And then there's this Delta Species Charizard. Of course, Charizard cards are going to be worth money. This is just the regular holo. There's also a reverse holo, which during the EX era, there's a, and this is Crystal Guardians, there's a reverse holo logo stamp like I showed earlier in my video with the EX Dragon Frontiers. All the reverse holos, all the cards essentially beside the EX cards come reverse holo, which looks really nice, I think, especially in a complete set. And this card, even just as a holo, is going to be worth anywhere from 12 to 15 to light play, up to 30 to mint near mint, maybe even up to 40 in mint near mint. This Brock's Grit, as well as the Misty Determination in Evolutions, are another card I've noticed sells really quick. People like this card and the Misty's card. They're gonna go for around $4 to $5, $4.25. This card right here, I believe it's Dragon's Exalted. It is, and cards that are a little older EXs are going to be worth a little more just because they're older. This is worth around $12 to $15. Dragon's Exalted era, black and white. I'll note too, this Skyla. Notice a lot of these getting graded. This is a fairly valuable card right here. It's going to be worth in mint near mint anywhere from $25 to $35. Graded, it's going to be worth a lot more. In PSA 10, maybe you get $150, $200 for it. So it's just something to note for people that want to get cards graded. That could be definitely something worth grading if you have to have it in really good condition. This card is a really cool card. It's a secret rare, as you can see down at the bottom, 88 out of 87. It's also first edition with Japanese cards. You can see this little black stamp down here is where the first edition logo is. It's an anniversary card, 20th anniversary, and it's a nice card. This card is also released in English, but I believe it was released differently in the Japanese version. And that card right there, this is about a $20 card too. So, and again, the XY era really introduced a whole new era of nice artwork. I mean, especially with these promos, it just looks great. And this card right here is worth around $10 to $12 as well right now in mint near mint. So I think people appreciate the artwork on the XY era stuff. Cards like this, Shining Legends. The Shining Legends was a smaller set. There wasn't a lot of holos in it, so the cards, even the full art's in it, that's probably a $3 to $4 card. I'll note this N, which was a card that people are getting graded. It's going to be worth anywhere from $10 to $15. Even the reverse holo set in the game was really popular. So even the reverse holo N in this set is worth like $5. So it's just something to note. This Shauna is another card I saw people grading, and it's going to be worth, I believe, 12 to 16. It was another card getting graded a lot. And again, there's that Misty Determination. Here's a secret rare. You can't be too impressed by it being secret rare. It was a fairly common secret rare. It's only going to be worth $4 to $5 for this secret rare Volcanic Ion. Steam Siege, which is an especially successful set. But here's a full art Gyarados. It's shiny, it's red, which is cool. People like that. It's going to be worth, around that $15 range, maybe even more. This Karen card, around 8 or 9. This Hex Maniac, I saw some people grading this, but I will say that ungraded, and there's quite a few of them, but ungraded, it's only going to be worth anywhere from $6 to $8. Here's another Rayquaza. I'm sorry, Gyarados, Mega Gyarados, and it's shiny again, the red, which is just a great look for a Gyarados. I think he looks probably cooler in the shiny form, although probably many Pokemon do. This is going to be worth around $14 to $17 depending on condition. And again, this new artwork they introduced was really cool. It always, the Japanese versions of the cards, this text in front of the Pokemon is actually in English, whereas everything else is in Japanese. And you can find it, unless you read Japanese, the Japanese version of the card will actually tell you what that says. I'm not so sure if I like that, but just overall the artwork is really nice. It really pops out. It's got the lightning looking stuff over here. It's a nice blue color, shades of different colors of blue. I think they did a really good job on these. Here's that Mega Venusaur, and yeah, it is from Evolutions, of course. This actually has a bit of a crease in it, so that card is going to be worth around $5, like I said. So that one's $5, the Blastoise around $9, and the Charizard, Mega Charizard, is only going to be worth around $15. That's one that got reprinted and reprinted. I think it might even still be in print, so it just hasn't gotten the kind of prices for some of the other base set starters. Here is that same card that we just looked at in the non-full art form, and it's going to be around $3. This Groudon, and usually legendary Pokemon, as long as you know who the legendary Pokemon is, you can pretty much bet they're going to have a little bit higher of a price tag. This one here is going to be worth around $8 to $11 right now on eBay. That Mewtwo up on the corner is going to be around the $10 range. And then a lot of the rest, like this Wailord, Latios, Togekiss, The regular EX cards are gonna be anywhere from $2 to $4. Seldom above that, unless it's like a special card that played well, or it's just like that Jolteon might be worth like $5. That Jolteon EX we talked about a couple pages back, because it played well. It's an evolution, but you can pretty much bet that if it didn't play well, it isn't an especially liked Pokemon, especially collected Pokemon, the standard EXs of the sets are going to be worth around $2 to $4. So you can count on that. There's a Mega Glalie. And this is a full art that's not going to be especially expensive. It's not going to be above $6, I don't think. This Shaman right here is actually notable. I think, even though it's just one of the RC promos, I think it's be around $6-7. The rest are only around that $4 range. This Mega non-full art Metagross around $5 or $6. Here's a black and white Era Rayquaza. I think this one is going to be, let's see, $6 to $10, say, depending on condition. This Cobalion, depending on condition, anywhere $5 to $10. This one's got some serious play on it. So I'm gonna make another video about appraising cards' conditions. And this card right here, I have to look at it some more. It's gonna be anywhere from played to moderately played. Just looking at it right now, I might even call it heavy play, because it's also got a crease right there. And it's always safe when you're listing cards to under appraise. You can't be greedy and try to say it's in better condition than it is, and then make your customers unhappy. I'll do another video about providing service and maintaining 100% positive feedback, which I do have. Now this card is an EX card that is worth a lot. Right now this card is going to be worth anywhere from $20 to $25, and of course it's a Pikachu, it's a promo, and it's going to be a card that's it's unique and worth a little more. It's part of a special collection. This card right here, it's not actually a full art technically. It doesn't have the textured holo, but it's a nice card. It's got a little bit, you can see that crease right there. Some cards there's many variations of ways to appraise cards. Some cards I'll call near mint / crease, because everything else on the card would qualify for near mint, like this one. Well, actually, it's even got some wear. But there are cards that are like near mint condition that just got creased, so you can label them like that. Alright, Lugia, that's another card that is going to be worth a little more than standard EX cards. I think this one's worth around $5 to $6. A lot of Lugia collectors. They've made special cards with Lugia. There's the Crystal Lugia in either Aquapolis or Skyridge, and that's a very valuable card. In PSA 10, I don't even know how much that would be worth. Maybe $2,000 to $5,000, maybe more. I'd have to check that. I haven't been paying attention too much to the crystal cards at this point, because I haven't been collecting them or investing in them yet. Not because I'm opposed to it, just because it's been just kind of out of my scope of what I'm able to afford right now. So yeah, some more nice cards. Just, they all look nice. Xerneas is a very pretty Pokemon. Got the rainbow horns going on. Darkrai, I think, is a really cool Pokemon. There's been some cool variations, some cool arts. I think one of the nicer arts, especially unique arts, would be the Darkrai and Cresselia Legend card, the 2-part card. This one, I would say actually this is one of the more basic ones, but it's going to be another type of card you could probably consider getting PSA graded. It would be more of an aggressive grading because it's alone, it's a $7 card, $6 card, but PSA 10 to the right buyer could be worth 50. So there would be some, it would make some sense. Here is that Mega Charizard in that set of the Mega Pokemon in XY Evolutions, which was essentially like a reprinting of the base set cards as well as some newer ones, and it also offered the base set cards in reverse holo, which is cool. I think it's kind of an underrated set actually. A lot of people don't like it. I think it's cool to see. I especially like the Mega Charizard in the set. I think it is definitely my favorite artwork for Mega Charizard. And you can get this card, this Mega Charizard, pretty cheap. You can get a PSA 10 of it, and at least last time I checked, $60, $70. So something you can afford to add to your collection. It's a really great artwork, and it's a Charizard. And here's, of course, the reprint of the infamous base set Charizard. Of course, now it has the updated kind of artwork. You got the level 76 going on there, and the ordering here is different. And I think the HP is different. I don't think the original had 150 HP. Here's another, this is a secret rare Japanese card. See at the bottom, 64 out of 60. I believe it's another anniversary card. And again, we talked about Shinings a little bit in the previous video. I didn't have the Shining Genesect at that point, but here's the Shining Genesect. You know, with the Shining cards, the actual Pokemon is holographic, which was introduced with Neo Destiny. And that takes us to the end of this binder. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something new, saw some cards that maybe you hadn't considered buying or investing in, and now you saw the card, saw the art. Now maybe you want to include it to your collection, or now you're just more aware of its market value. And I will see you on the next binder.